Well, all right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube, Pastor Dowell here. Well, the talk goes on, the beat goes on, the conversation still goes on, and the truth is, 99% of the people today is never going to come to the knowledge of the truth is because most people have religious biases, and they really truly don't believe what this says. They don't believe what this says. Even though the book says that man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceed forth out of the mouth of Yah. Now, a lot of people would have you to assume that some of the statements that they make, some of the propositions that they propose, actually comes from Yah, but it really comes from their own mindset, especially when it's something that's so steeply ingrained in them based on this particular culture right here. I don't know who told the whole world that Western monogamous society is the standard and has always been the standard for all of mankind, going all the way back to Adam. That is a fallacy. That is a lie. That's exactly what it is. It's not the norm. When you go and you look throughout cultures, from the beginning of time all the way up to now, man has always been polygynous in nature, especially powerful men, kings, rulers. And sometimes, I mean, you can even read this book right here where the priest even gave men multiple women. It's only in this particular society right here where it champions itself as the holy grail of righteousness, which we all know is nothing more than a laughingstock, because monogamy here in America just simply does not exist in any way, shape, fashion, or form. It doesn't exist in the Christian church. It doesn't exist in Christian America. It doesn't exist in America at all whatsoever at all. I mean, all you think about this, the majority of women today, they don't choose to be a virgin and present themselves as someone holy and pure when they get married. They don't do that today. And I always chuckle and laugh at people going through these little extents right here, talking about I'm going to propose to my wife, I'm going to propose to my husband or whatever may have you to marry me, when you've already had a sample of the good, the taste of the goods, experienced the goods. I mean, what are you doing? You basically just going out and getting a contract and agreement with the state. You think that you're making a contract and agreement with each other, and you're making a contract and agreement with the state out of which the state will support the woman, and the woman knows that. And that's the reason why that the divorce rate in monogamous America is 70%. Now, they're monogamous in name only, but they're definitely not monogamous in practice, nor are they monogamous. I don't care, what do you call it? You go look at the Christian church right now. You're going to tell me that it's going to champion itself as the standard of morality? That is a laughing stock within itself. And so you'll see people, and it's becoming popular again, in such a sexually promiscuous generation that we find ourselves in. We find people constantly over and over again attacking the book. Even on the Most High Yah proves himself that he's a polygynist, who you call God. You can see where he himself stated right out of his mouth, the same one that said, I will never alter or change anything that has gone out of my lips. The same one that created the earth and hung it on nothing. The same one that made the man out of the dust of the earth and he did all this, created all this. He said him own self that if you wanted more, I would have gave you more. He made laws in the Torah. He made rules and guidelines for a man having multiple women. Yet and still, you get a lot of these people who champion themselves as they are the sum of all wisdom and epitome of all righteousness concerning American culture or Western culture. They're all hypocrites in nature. Let's just tell the truth. The majority of women that get married today, so-called quote-unquote married, if I can use that term to be pure, the majority of them have been turned, or let's say they've been experienced 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 times, sometimes upward of hundreds. Now, you think that that's wife material when she's had so much DNA deposited in her, and then we wonder why that there's such a rebellion that is going on in the women today in this society right here. We wonder why that they buck up as men, they speak as men, because they have the nature and personality of men which they received in them when they let so many men go inside of them and put their DNA inside of them. You can't expect, listen, I know, I'm a pastor, right? And I have married people. I marry people of all kinds, mostly virgins. I know and see the difference in a woman that is a virgin and one that has been experienced. I see it clearly. And you've got to literally just be sticking your head in the sand. You literally have to be blind in one eye and can't see out the other. You cannot tell me that an experienced woman has the same meekness, the same temperance, the same kindness, the law of, just the holiness that comes with the woman that has saved herself for the man that she loved in marriage right there. I mean, that is something, you ever heard of a pearl of great price? We talking about something that is worthy of a price and worthy of all honor. A virgin that fears Yah, that has a meek and humble and quiet, submissive, agreeable spirit that's prepared herself for marriage. Man, there's nothing like it on the earth. There's no woman that has experienced that I've ever come across that has the character, nature, or holiness than a woman that has saved herself for marriage. And you know I'm telling the truth. Y'all do. And that's one reason why the divorce rate is up so much, because the women have had a taste of many different flavors of men today. And all this personality is causing them to lash out and to speak out. And sometimes you men, you're arguing with people out there. You don't know if you're arguing with Tom, Dick, Harry, Mutt, Jeff, Pookie, Ray, Tyrone. You don't know who you're up against, because at any given time, that personality can kick in. And you know the churches out there don't believe in no deliverance. They don't believe in deliverance. And so I know even right now I sound like, what in the world? They probably saying, what is Pastor Dowell talking about? I'm trying to tell you the truth, that throughout the angles of time, it's just been the norm. It's even the norm in the Bible. I even have a $20,000 challenge out to any theologian, any pastor, preacher, and teacher that would like to debate me on the righteousness of a man having more than one woman in marriage. This subject right here. Some people call it monogamy versus polygyny. Call it whatever you want. They all seem to tuck tail and run, because I show them all, and I show you all clearly, that most of them are deceived in their theology. They're deceived in their lies. They're deceived in their culture they believe. It's just utterly amazing. But it's also a litmus test to let you know if a man is a man. It's also a litmus test to let you know if he's a man of truth. Because, it's just simple. You come up with all kinds of arguments. You can create stuff. You can insert stuff. You can do whatever you want. But you cannot ever deny the truth, especially when it's debated on a good platform civilly for people to be able to see. Now, you may not ever come to the knowledge of truth of it, may not ever accept it, but I don't think truth is worrying about if you accept it or not. It just is what it is. And most of you people are going to really be upset when you really truly find out that a lot of men that actually have more than one wife, that's what y'all call today, is really woman, more than one woman. Usually the women are the ones that approach them, and usually the women has asked them if they could be covered by them. I know that's a misnomer, because the man always gets blamed for everything, because that's what happens in a matriarchal society. Because, after all, he's the problem for every damn thing. The woman didn't cause nothing, even though she, in a heterosexual relationship, women file for divorce 70% of the time. In a lesbians relationship, women file for divorce 73% of the time. So don't sit up and tell me that the problem is men when it's really women. They are the ones who destroy families, destroy nations, destroy countries, destroy towns, destroy homes, destroy families. They destroy everything they get their hands on when they will not submit to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Yeah, and that's just a fact. And so, men, you want to be very selective out there about who you're picking and choosing. Now, am I saying that there's no hope for a woman? No, I'm not saying. I'm saying a woman can be changed, can be transformed. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm looking at least 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years before she can do that, provided she's 100% dedicated to the Most High Yah. Because I haven't seen too many people turn that curve. Now, I didn't see any. I said too many turn that curve and actually become a Proverbs 31 woman. Really being transformed. But I tell you, use the word today in front of a woman. Say this to a woman. Say, okay, if you want marriage, you want to be married, you're going to learn, you're going to submit, you're going to obey, you're going to be obedient, you're going to be respectful, you're going to be agreeable, you're going to serve me. and you're going to rear and raise my seed. And you're going to make sure you're here for the advancement of my home. See what you get. See what kind of clap back and kick you get. And then we wonder why you got all these men going across seas getting women other than Western-minded women who actually, I might add, grow up in polygynous societies. And I tell you one thing, it ain't working though, is it? So monogamy, you can't sit up and tell me that it's the champion. Because, I mean, look at the shape that the world is in. And I might add this, and I'll end this video on this. They always say, some of these people that try to debate the subject of polygyny versus monogamy, and they say, look what you find in polygyny. You find nothing but chaos, and you find nothing but destruction, and that's all you find in it. And I find that quite odd, because if we assume that Adam and Eve was the first monogamous couple, they the ones who plunged us into all this sin, this death, and this hell that we find ourselves in, because it was come from the first monogamous marriage, death. First monogamous marriage, bitterness, hatred, sin, killing, murder, and every single wickedness that proceeded forth after that came from a monogamous relationship. You just heard the truth, and the truth straightway. King coming.